JioFin, because that's another stock that we're trading. It's soon going to be out of major indices.
Today is the day. 1st September, I think that 10-day moratorium on the stock ends, or the 10-day trade segment of the JioFin stock ends today, and it now gets out of the Sensex 30 pack and is also going to get delisted from the BSE S&P 500. Okay. I want to understand from Kranthi, Bathini. Kranthi, what does that really mean? JioFin is still a listed company. Why would it be out of the S&P 500?
Kartik, the indices committee, the core committee of the stock exchanges, they have a mechanism, depends upon the trading volume, and also as this is a demerged entity from Reliance Industries. The committee decides the constituents of the index. So the current decision is, since the stock has been in a mixed trend, post-listing the stock was going into a downtrend for nearly 4 or 5 trading sessions, and what we witnessed is some kind of rebound in the price. Right now, the index committee, the stock was kept under T group. T group represents, by and large, there is no intraday trades are not allowed in this company, and almost there is no short trading also not allowed. People who have the stock in position, they could able to sell the stock, and it comes up with a war margin. That means the investor need to have 100% money before executing the trade with respect to clearing corporations. So it's in a T group category. So the index committee is going to review the situation today, and they will take the decision as they mentioned. They're going to take the decision today.
Okay, so the decision, of course, would be to first get the stock out of the index, and there in Kranthi, the stock is going to make it back to the index as well, right? Whether it is part of Sensex 30 or not is something, or Nifty 50 is something that depends on the final valuation of the stock, and the stock this morning was trading at about 241 rupees a piece or so. But what does it mean from here? So a shareholder who does hold a JioFin stock from tomorrow will be able to trade it on some index, right? What index is that going to be?
Kartik, your point is very valid. And as for a shareholder, normal retail investor, what does it make any difference whether the stock is on Sensex 30 or Nifty, or if at all it is out of the indices? What happens is, in generally, the ETF funds and also the MSCI indices, whenever the fund flows come into these indices funds or ETFs, the incremental flows will be on a higher note. When a stock gets excluded from any kind of indices, the stock misses that incremental flows into that particular stock. But with respect to the performance, with respect to the fundamentals of the company, it doesn't make any difference with respect to the revenues and earnings of the company. It's just index management, and the decision is taken by the stock exchanges index management committees. Depends upon the market cap and also the revenues. They have their set of norms to include a share in the indices and to exclude a share in the indices.
Right. Kranthi, I have first an analogy to make and ask a question on the basis of that. It feels as if, the JioFin stock is like a baby lion which was inside a cage in a zoo. In protected environment. Today it's been let out of that cage to go into the jungle and to become the lion that it originally was born from. And even in its zoo cage period, it was hitting lower circuit twice or thrice. In the 10 days it was there in the zoo period. Now it's going to be in a very, very vulnerable state outside of all the protected trade for trade segment environs it was part of. So, tell us, how the JioFin stock is going to go forward, having seen it hit lower circuit, few times in the first 10 days.
Krishna, you are absolutely correct. When the stock was on the indices in the T group, it have a circuit limit of 5%. So in a day, it can go up to 5% and it can come down by 5%. So the stock can move in the range of plus or minus 5%. So when the stock is excluded from a T group, the exchanges can revise the circuit filters for these stocks, because since it's not a F&O kind of stock, the circuit filter mechanism is applicable with respect to the indices exchange restrictions are concerned. So if the stock comes up like a freeboard. So the market forces will determine the better fair value of the stock. But with respect to the fundamentals are concerned, if you have to go purely because of the fair value of the stock, as the stock tested the fair value zone around 200 to 210 zone, the stock witnessed a buying interest. Currently, it is trading at the higher range. Once the stocks comes out of this circuit filter, the nominal plus or minus 5%, probably the market forces are going to determine the stock price in the days to come. But one thing is, it's not a stock to ignore. The strong fundamentals, and also in the recent AGM of Reliance Industries, the chairman and MD Mukesh Ambani have spoken widely with respect to their plans in digital lending, and also how the NBFC space is going to be, and also the foray into both general and life insurance. These are the segments of industry, and India is a country growing at 7.8% right now. Financial services are going to play a key role, and because of the pedigree of Jio Financial Services, definitely it's a stock to watch because of the management and also the plans they have.
So Kranthi, staying on this, just for ample clarity, my own clarity, and of course, hopefully the clarity for the viewers as well. Two things that I'm understanding from what you're saying. Number one, next few days are likely to be volatile for the Jio Finance stock because you don't know how much it's going to get traded. There is no 5% threshold now on hitting upper or lower circuit. It's pretty much a free float in that sense. And number two, I also want to understand what is the likelihood of JioFin actually making it to Sensex 30 or Nifty 50, given the fact that even at present valuations, even at a value of, let's say, 220, 226 rupees a piece, it was still touted to be the second most valued financial services NBFC firm in India, second only to Bajaj Finance, which is a resident player in the Sensex 30 category. So what is the probability of JioFin actually making it back in a day or two to the Sensex and Nifty 50 boards? And if it does, who does it replace?
Kartik, see, it all depends upon the index management committee. Okay, the exchanges have a stringent norms to include any kind of company into the Sensex, because it is came from the pedigree of Jio as a Reliance Industries as a demerger. So the greater focus is there laid down for Jio Financial Services. Most probably it can be included. We need to wait and watch, because the Sensex and Nifty have a different committees and the different kind of weightages of every stock. For example, coming to Sensex, the greater weightage is towards the banking and financial services in the Sensex, and the Nifty is concerned. It's also have a different kind of weightage for each and individual stocks. So, and already the representation from the banking and financial services is there on the indices. So it is the mechanism of the index committee, S&P index committee. They are going to make this decision whether to include or not. But coming to the point, Kartik, okay, if the fundamentals and the management is going to deliver what they are promising right now, what they are the opportunities that are going to capitalize, there is no worry at this point of time whether Jio Financials is included in the Sensex or Nifty or excluded. Okay, it doesn't make any difference at this point of time. But the main thing is they need to increase their revenues going ahead and increase the earnings of the company. That is going to play a crucial role on a longer term, on a medium to longer term basis.
Okay, so I think earnings and revenue is still a distant cry, because let's see when those licenses come in, either the insurance license or the AMC. But Kranthi, to my first question, which I asked you, high beta, should we expect great volatility next few days?
Definitely, there is because the stock came to the investors as a demerger from Reliance Industries, and it is highly owned by both the institutional as well as retail investors. So some kind of heightened activity definitely we can witness once the stock gets freed with this kind of T group and the restrictions of the limit is concerned.
All right, heightened activity, volatility expected of course on JioFin stock in the next coming few days.